The characters in this show are baffling. So it starts off with your girl B trying to get the adoption finished. She has a recommendation from Donald Sterling. And they're like, well, what kind of job do you have since you just lost your job? And she's like, I'm going to be selling my brand, my products. And she shows her hats and everything else. If B isn't the definition of I don't know when to speak and not to. And if that wasn't enough, Donald calls her up as if nothing happened and says, what kind of medicine am I supposed to take? And when she says, I don't know, he calls his wife. Meanwhile, they're trying to get his wife to deny that she is still with her husband. So right around that time, the NBA kicks Donald out and it's like, listen, we're taking your team. So the wife is like, oh no, we're not together. Don't punish us. Let me take the other half of the team. She is trying to distance herself so that she can get the team. A lot of it is for Donald too. Like, don't let that fool you. I know Severia, Team Shelly. Y'all be cracking me up in those comments though. So Shelly is talking to the agent because she's like, listen, we got to come up with a plan. And as she's talking with the agent, he gets the phone call and he's like, he straight gets fired in front of Shelly for being too close to the Sterlings. And that's crazy because the last episode, you heard him talking to Doc about the team being so bad that he really can't go anywhere. I guess his career is done. Back to the horrible choices that V makes. She goes on Barbara Walters. Now, her lawyer was trying to prep her, but since Ms. V knows every goddamn thing, she puts her foot in her mouth. She takes over the interview and somehow says, I'm his silly rabbit. Barbara's like, oh my gosh, she calls you that? Because that's degrading. And she's like, no. Like, she calls herself that. Actually, Barbara did not make that girl look bad. She made herself look bad. And then she wants to go on about getting paid under the table. Ooh, I don't want to be in her office when the IRS hits. So Shelly's sitting here talking about how she's divorcing Donald. And they're like, ma'am, we don't believe you. Have several seats. You're not keeping this team. And she starts off, oh my gosh, but you don't know what the billionaires do. They have dungeons for, adult play. And it's like, Shelly, please take your walk. Your husband probably got several too. V gets the adoption, of course, and she's getting called unwanted names. Now, she did not try to make Donald look bad. I think she's still holding out because she still wants a sugar daddy. At the end, Donald has nobody to call. His wife is not picking up the phone. V's not picking up the phone. And whoever else, because I know he calls Doc every morning to harass him about the team. But since he's not part of the team, he doesn't have no one to talk to. So he goes out to these reporters and he's like, okay, I am ready to talk now. Because at the end of the day, all Donald wants is some attention. And I really believe that's why he bought the team. It's Amina Seen It. Comment down below. And please subscribe if you haven't.